Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your May 2018 General Tarot reading. It's Raina. I'm just starting over again, and before I begin, I want to remind you that this is a general reading, and general readings mean not only is this a general focus, but even within a general focus, there can be times that the cards seem to suggest one particular scenario over another. I am going to go with that because I don't want to just artificially try to include everybody. A private reading is totally different, especially when I use your natal chart. And so this is just a kind of a hint at what my particular methodology involves, but it doesn't always involve that in private readings. It's just kind of like a demonstration in a very general way. So everything is general, is basically what I'm getting down to. Now, in this particular case for May, I'm looking at it primarily as a relationship situation. I suppose you could extend it to the workplace. I'll explain why. You know, when this is the cause of everything, and this is the 10, or at least the past, the 10 of Cups. So usually this has to do with marriage. This has to do with family and happiness. And but I suppose that you could include landing your dream job, okay? Something that you wanted to, because it's the feeling of completion. It's the pot at the end of the rainbow. So that could be a job that you had been wanting, I suppose. So it doesn't have to just be relationship, but this is now the 7 of Swords. Now, without me telling you what this card is all about, you can probably see that the person is kind of sketchy. So this is a card of actual theft. Now, it's interesting. I really need to get a good book about the Rider-Waite deck symbolism, because you notice that he's carrying 5 of the 7 swords. The number 5 is a number of chaos, instability. So he's all about that, and he's leaving 2 swords behind. Maybe it's showing that he's not wanting to consider the other person. He's all out. He's in it for himself. And this is that type of person that you thought, maybe you thought you married this perfect person, and you find out that they are a grifter, you know. And some people laugh and they go, what is a grifter? It's a con man. And, you know, I can't say con person. It sounds too weird, but this isn't, you know, meant to bash men. Anyone who is a con artist. Okay, that's gender neutral, right? So that type of person is who you really are with. And that could be in the workplace too. But it's like you thought that you had this perfect scenario. And what's crossing you, or what is challenging you, is the Queen of Wands. Actually, Sagittarius, you are the Queen of Wands, even though that sunflower drives me crazy, because I would think of Leo. Why not? But they claim it's Sagittarius, so let's go with that. Any fire energy is going to have similar characteristics. Confidence, independence. Now you see that's a challenged position. So that can indicate somebody who was confident, maybe you, and now you feel out of control. Now you feel like the kind of person that you never wanted to be. Maybe you're totally into drama, accusing this person because you know that this is happening, but you can't prove it. And it's like going from a dream marriage to a nightmare, and marriage being a committed relationship. Someone said I was being provincial because I was emphasizing marriage, so interesting. But so that kind of thing is I think more common than we know. And I think with Sagittarius, as with all fire signs, there's always that possibility that you jumped the gun on something, that you got involved with somebody and just got really involved with them before you knew who they really were. And that's the kind of vibe I'm getting from this particular spread. Again, I think it could definitely apply to the workplace too. I don't see any reason why not. And it's like, wow. I thought this person was different than they really are. The spiritual message is represented by the Four of Pentacles. Now, this is a card I've been getting too in recent readings for more than one sign. Now, you see the person is holding on to dear life to their money. Materialism. This is the spiritual lesson. So it's not going to be just mundane, advice. It's looking at the bigger picture. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. When you have a conversation with someone and the topics or most of their topics involve one subject, they're probably pretty obsessed with that subject. And if that subject is their possessions, money, then you know who you're dealing with. And yet, people sometimes ignore these signs, don't they? In the workplace, same thing. You agree to work for less, hoping that if you prove yourself, you'll get more money, and that it's just a matter of doing a good job. Well, it doesn't always work that way. There are some people who are very stingy. So, also the Four of Pentacles. How do you manage your own resources? Because sometimes that can also lead to looking to others to provide you for your financial support, at least in part. And maybe, especially if you have children, you're looking to, well, it's funny because I was going to say you're looking for child support, but I'm really kind of amending that because I have a feeling that Sagittarians are the ones with the money. And the other person is the con artist. So they're the ones that don't have the money. So in this case, even as a spiritual message, it's like honoring the money. But I do feel like if somebody has been that type of person who took advantage of you financially, in the future, this is like a cautionary tale that you have to stop this at the pass. I mean, people tend to get in these similar relationships. Patterns are there. And so I think the spiritual message is always about looking at patterns. How do you value money? What do you think of others? What is your relationship to money? And that goes both ways. You know, some people think it's not spiritual to care about their finances. But, you know, we live in this world right now. So we have to, I mean, yeah, you can't take it with you. That's absolutely true. But we still have to navigate through this world, and that this world requires money. So it might be that you're not doing the right thing with your financial resources. And that's why you got yourself in this problem in the first place. And this is more of the mundane advice. This is represented by the King of Pentacles. This can be like a financial advisor, maybe, like an accountant, or somebody who deals in investment banking or something like that. Maybe, I wonder if any of you got some kind of inheritance, and you need some sort of advice with that. You know, it's very interesting. I don't know if that pertains to anyone, because that person may be able to help you set something up so that you have that money protected. And maybe that's, if you have joint finances with somebody, you need to kind of separate those, and you need a professional. Also, in terms of workplace matters, this is a card of a businessman. I mean, like an owner of a store. Like, I would say it would mostly be tangible goods, although it could be someone who works in a bank. And if you are leaving a job, because the Seven of Swords can also be about you're going your own way. And perhaps you clashed with a former boss, because the Queen of Wands, as an energy itself, is somebody who is very independent and confident in their own right. But perhaps you need like if you have somebody who's above you, you need somebody who can be more, I would say, detached, because you have, you know, Sagittarians have a very feisty streak, and if we have somebody who's like us, it could be too much. So this could be somebody who's very down to earth, and we work well. We could work well with that type of person, because they're not going to, you know, our two types of personalities are not going to clash. We kind of complement one another rather than compete with one another. What's coming in? What a great card. Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. So, you know, it's really funny, because with the Ten of Cups, the Nine of Cups, getting that kind of positive stuff coming in, I think that's kind of a lesson for life. There's always good, you know, there's always good things happening, but it's our reaction to them that sometimes screws things up. Like the Four of Pentacles is a great card. It could indicate financial stability, financial, I was going to say financial wealth, but it's more like financial security, okay? But that's good enough. I mean, that's really good. And it could be that some Sagittarians are really seeing their ship come in. But it could, you know, as often happens, other people, they hear about your great, you know, situation, and they want in on it. And it's up to Sagittarians to have discernment, okay? The outcome, the Empress. Now you see, look at that. Now you see that's a heart, and then that's Venus inside of that. This corresponds to Taurus, and this could also be the King of Pentacles, could be a father too, that comes to the rescue in some way. But Taurus and Libra are the two signs that are ruled by Venus. The Empress is an Earth Mother type. It can be a creative energy. It can be like a fertility, pregnancy, but also love. Okay, so love in some fashion with somebody. And as the outcome card, this could be a card of abundance. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of cards of abundance. Even that King of Pentacles could be a facet of you, Sagittarius. You know, we have to remember that Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So there's always this lucky streak with Sagittarians. And sometimes when I'm on YouTube and I'm watching astrologers and I'll read some comments, and I'm like a person, you may you may read some of my comments, because I like to, you know, throw in my 2 cents. I'm kind of an opinionated person. So I noticed that sometimes Sagittarians say, oh, I can't wait for good things to happen to me. It's been such a terrible, you know, when Saturn was in Sagittarius, and that was the reason why their lives sucked. And there's always, you know, these tales of woe. It just doesn't seem like it should go along with a Sagittarian. We're supposed to be very, you know, lucky and positive. And I think a lot of times the reason we are positive is because we're so lucky. It's about really seeing that you're lucky. You don't have to be wealthy to know that you're fortunate. That is a very important thing to say, because the King of Pentacles in that upper right hand corner is somebody who is financially solvent and then some. That's a card of financial abundance for sure. But it's all relative, okay? So if you live in America, I don't care, the biggest, you know, hood, inner city hood area that you live in is 10 times better than some parts of the world, and those people are happy. So you have to make your life, you know, your life is what you make it, basically. And sometimes it's just seeing that you're experiencing more more abundance. It could be very, very slight, but it's there. It's proof that something is growing, something is getting better in your life. And the Empress is about that kind of feelings of abundance, feelings of fertility. Fertility isn't just in the literal sense. It could be creativity. And creativity can lead to financial abundance too, because you can come up with some great ideas and implement them and make money off of them. So I think that May is going to be a very good time for Sagittarians. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this, Sag. And if you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below. Take care. Bye.